I am feeling so called and compelled to talk about this, probably because somebody specifically asked me. I got a question in my DMs the other day. Salam Habibti question. I remember you mentioning that you used to be a shopaholic. What did you do to get a handle on that? I've transferred my sweet tooth to shopping. Oof, I can relate so hardcore because impulsive eating and impulsive shopping were two things that I have spent, well, a lot of my life being a part of. And not only being a part of or falling victim to, but defining myself by it. And when somebody asks me, how did I get a handle on it? It feels so crazy because I'm like, wow, I guess I did get a handle on it. I guess I really have come a long way. So much so someone that feels like they can ask for advice about it from me, which is pretty cool. And I always feel like if I can do it, you guys can't. Anybody, literally anybody can. Literally anybody can. And these are just some of the realistic, practical ways that I've done it. I feel like why not share it? If it could help one person, that's all I wanted to help. And if I'm gonna compile it anyways and send it to someone over a DM, why can't I just put it into video content and give it to all of you? Going to the mall was like what we grew up doing for fun, just the same way eating was what we grew up doing for fun. I remember my dad having like really big bowls of Fruity Pebbles at the end of the night and watching TV with that, and that was just an experience that we could all share together. I remember my brothers in the basement eating Oreos, and that was just an experience I would go down and share with them, and it was just a way that we all bonded. We grew up with lots of family dinners and everything. We just bonded over food our entire lives, and it was kind of the same thing with shopping. I think when you're Muslim and you're growing up in America, you don't do a lot of other things. You don't go to bars, you don't go anything that kind of like surrounded drinking. We didn't do a lot of, so concerts and like pool nights and like things like that we didn't do a ton of. I mean, there was definitely barbecues we did as a family, and we used to go to the pool when we were really young, but as we got older that just wasn't a thing. So we would go to the mall a lot, so we would either eat or go shopping and eat. And I think that's probably super common in a lot of Muslim and foreign households. It's like going to the mall and walking around was what you did on the weekends. So that's kind of where I think eating for fun, eating for gratification, and shopping for fun and shopping for gratification, really just entertainment, came from. There's something called identity-based habits, and I've changed my identity-based habits. I stopped calling myself a shopaholic. I stopped calling myself a compulsive shopper. I stopped calling myself these things because it didn't have to be true, and it wasn't true. So I used to be somebody who, if I had time in between classes when I was going to college, I would go to Ross or TJ Maxx and just like buy a shirt, right? I used to be somebody who did that, and I would say that I used to be somebody who just went shopping for fun, and then I stopped saying that. I stopped saying I was someone who did that. I started doing other things for fun, and I started defining myself by traits that I felt more proud of. I am successful, I'm capable, I'm hardworking, I'm a good daughter, I'm a good sister, I'm a good aunt, right? Like I would define myself by other things. I like to bake, I like to cook, I like to create content, right? So that eating, food, and shopping weren't at the center of my hobbies. Now, I do like fashion, I like dressing up, I like dressing in a way that is flattering to my body, but I think those are two different things. I think the desire to present myself in a way I feel comfortable presenting myself, in a way I feel proud of, is very different than I'm a shopaholic, right? Those are two different things. So identity-based habits, that's the number one thing that I changed. That's the number one thing that I will always push. I'm very, very particular about who I say I am and what I say I do. Habit swapping is another big one. So this question that she asked me was very specific. She said, I traded my sweet tooth for shopping, because when you change one thing, you typically swap it with another. Habit swapping is actually a tool that we use all the time to create better habits. So if I typically have a piece of chocolate after lunch, and it's not a piece of chocolate that I need or really want, but it's a habit I want to change, then maybe I'm going to swap that with a cup of tea. I'm not going to strip the chocolate away because I'm used to holding something in my hands and to walking away from the kitchen with something in my hands. But instead I'll put a cup of tea in it, so I still have that comfort, I still have that company, I still have something in my hands fulfilling that habit, that normal behavior, but it's a different object and it's providing me with a different reward. Instead of getting the reward of a dopamine hit from sugar, from the chocolate, I'm instead getting like the reward of a calming sensation from that tea. More of like a meditative experience versus a dopamine hit. So two different rewards, but I'm just swapping the habit in between so that I still get a reward and I'm not walking away with nothing. So basically that's what she did with shopping and eating. She has stopped compulsively eating, stopped eating sweets when she doesn't want them or need them, but she started shopping instead to fulfill that. So what is happening is you are fulfilling an empty space, right, with something else. And typically what we need to do is get really comfortable with being still. We are numbing something by filling this void with food or filling it with shopping. Really, at the end of the day, we're filling a void with something that doesn't really provide us anything. So I would challenge you to see what it is. What am I feeling a void of? Is it I just don't know how to be still and be bored? Is it I don't like being alone with myself? I struggle to be present. I struggle to feel like I'm not doing something. This is a really big one. People always feel like they need to be being productive. They need to be doing. But if they're eating, then they can procrastinate or take a break. If they're shopping, they can say, oh, I'm just like taking a shopping break. But really what they might need is just to be still, to do nothing, and it's okay to do nothing and give themselves permission to do nothing. But I think the biggest one, especially in this day and age, is just being comfortable with the idea of being still for 5 minutes, being alone with your thoughts for 10 minutes, maybe finding some other form of self-care, whether it's taking a shower or doing your nails or going on a walk or calling a friend. There's other things we can be doing, or even like, I think self-care, a great example of this is meal prep. Like, I want to make sure that my lunch for tomorrow is ready so that I'm not scrambling in the morning. So it's 7 p.m. tonight and I'm gonna go ahead and prepare my lunch for tomorrow at noon. I'm gonna prepare it now. This is a form of self-care for me. And then I have that with me for the next day. So for me, that's a form of self-care. Prep is a form of self-care. Cleaning is a form of self-care, but also so is just sitting and being still and doing nothing. Next one, intention. So one of the biggest problems when it comes to not eating for impulse or not shopping on impulse is not eating on impulse doesn't mean you're not eating. And not shopping on impulse doesn't mean you never shop. Trying not to be a compulsive eater or not to be a compulsive shopper doesn't mean you're not eating and you're not shopping. But a lot of people feel like the moment they eat and shop, they failed at not compulsive eating or compulsive shopping. But there is a difference. Eating with intention and shopping with intention isn't a failure. That's fine. That's actually one step forward, right? You still have to eat and you're still gonna have to shop at some extent. And we can do both of those things, just do them with intention. So an example of this is I actually keep a running note in my phone of, I wonder if I can find my most recent, I don't wanna look right now, but of things that I might need. So if I'm looking in my closet and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what I really need is I need a white shirt that would go with all of these different pants that I have. I just need a plain white shirt with an asymmetrical neckline. I'm gonna add that to my list of things that I want to look for the next time that I go shopping. I did this right before my trip to Greece. I was trying on lots of different skirts and I realized, you know what would be best with all of these is a short sleeve black kind of crop, but maybe like just full length shirt. And I wrote that down in a note on my phone and I went and I bought that and just that. And that way I have what I need. I am going shopping for the things that I need. I'm not never shopping. I'm just shopping for what I need, and I'm not compulsively shopping or impulsively shopping. I'm doing it with intention. And the other thing that makes this so much easier is unsubscribing to all of those emails from all of those stores. Those are fake sales to get you to buy. Getting a sale that says, oh, it's 15% off or 20% off or this collection just dropped. You don't need that 20% off because you didn't need that anyways. It's just like food. If you are driving past a McDonald's, of course you're going to be a little bit more tempted to get to the McDonald's. If you had never driven past it, you wouldn't have thought of it. It's the same thing with those emails. Had you never seen the email for 20% off at that one boutique, you would have never thought of that one boutique. You are not missing anything by unsubscribing there, I promise. Or an influencer. Mute, unfollow, unsubscribe. And then for me, last one, financial motivation. I have always been somebody who is financially motivated. I want to save my money. I want to buy a house one day. When I was younger, now I'm married, so it's a little bit different because we're a team, but when I was younger and single, I wanted to be able to support myself and a desired lifestyle to its maximum extent. was very financially motivated my entire life. I worked really, really, really hard. And I would see that money just go, 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 go when I went shopping. And I never spent more than I had ever. But I did want to be just more financially smart. And that meant saving my money. That meant not spending it on things that I didn't need. That meant not going to TJ Maxx and going home instead. That meant reallocating my spending sometimes. What would bring me more value? Was it going to the grocery store and buying foods that supported my body, or maybe getting a gym membership, or was it going shopping every month? That was actually the biggest switch, is I started paying for my own gym membership. And I said I can afford this only if I swap my gym membership, my shopping budget for my gym membership budget. So that was the biggest financial motivation and switch for me. And I chose delayed gratification. The gym wasn't going to give me immediate gratification, and it didn't, but it gave me delayed gratification, and I still reap the benefits of that gratification every single day. So it's very delayed, but I still have it. Now, I did just go shopping because I had a list in my phone of the things that I needed. So I have a package right in front of me that I haven't opened yet. And I'm going to try on, and then I'm going to return everything that I don't love, everything that I don't need, and everything that I don't see myself wearing more than once. That was a very intentional purchase. I knew exactly what I needed. Bought several different sizes of different items so that I can try on and really make sure that I had something that, again, I was comfortable in. I was going to wear over and over again. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please drop them in the thing below, whatever it's called, comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe so that you never miss a video. Try to upload twice a week. You know how that goes sometimes. You can find more on my Instagrams. I have The Practical Nutritionist for all recipes and health related tips, and then Living for Lena, which is more lifestyle, practical lifestyle, kind of like my personal page. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.